life, I've lived in St. Louis. Growing up, I thought I'd go away for college, go to a big city. But here I am, WashU, class of 2019. And even though St. Louis isn't perfect, it's always been a place that I can call home. But now that I've graduated, I think I need a change of scene.
Thank you for inviting me over for dinner, Mrs. Lee. The food looks great.
Of course, Ryan. You're welcome anytime here. We owe you for being Sarah's one and only friend. I'm just kidding. So, Sarah, how does it feel to be a college graduate? We're so proud of you.
Thanks, Mom. Honestly, it doesn't feel that different from when I wasn't a graduate. In some ways, I still feel like that clueless freshman asking people where the bear's den is.
Wow, I can't believe you actually used to call her that. You really were clueless.
Look who's talking. You were the one who spent an entire semester ordering chicken tenders and fries at the grill because you didn't know it was called habanero.
Well, you two may still feel young and clueless, but you both have just graduated from WashU, the Harvard of the Midwest. You have your whole lives ahead of you.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not that sure what that life's gonna look like.
You know, medical school is still an option, even with an English degree. You can go to medical school in New York, like Ryan.
Dad, we talked about this. I am not going to medical school.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't survive medical school anyways.
What do you mean? I'm smarter than you.
Yeah, sure, but you also literally cry whenever you get less than 8 hours of sleep. I mean, seriously, how did you graduate? There is no way you can survive overnight shifts at the hospital.
Yeah, that's true. Although in college I did skip like 60% of my classes. I mean, a few of my classes.
Okay, well, Sarah, do you have a boyfriend yet?
Wow, nice natural transition there, Mom. Why am I being interrogated?
Well, we just want to know. Ryan is such a nice...
No, we're just friends. It would be so weird to date him.
All my life, I've lived in China. Of course, that's what I'm expected to do. I was born here, I'm supposed to stay close to home to support my family. And all my life, I've been that good daughter. And I'm lucky to have parents who love me. And it's because of them I can be here now, graduating from the best university in China, Beijing University, class of 1988. But now what? There are not many opportunities here now that I graduated. I think my future lies somewhere else.
哎，你太辛苦了. You've been working so hard, Minxie. But look at you now, a graduate from Beida, Beijing University, class of 1988. You look so tired. You need to eat.
Mom, 不要担心. Stop worrying. I'm just not that hungry.
Not hungry? Are you sick? Are you dying? Quick, have some hot water. That'll make you feel better. Or you know what? I'm gonna go boil some herbal medicine.
Mom.
Okay. Look at how much Yang has eaten. And look at how little you've eaten. This is why you're so skinny.
It's alright, it's okay, Mengxing and I just had a late lunch today, a graduation date.
Well, you still can't afford to waste all that food. You know, when I was young, I could only afford to eat meat once every...
I know. 我知道吧? You tell me this every time I leave 5 grains of rice in my bowl.
Of course, no daughter of mine will be ungrateful. But of course, now you have more than enough food. An electrical engineering degree from Beida. We're so proud of you.
I know. When you were a little kid, you were so curious all the time. Do you remember the first time you saw fish in a pond? She jumped right into the water. I always knew you were such a smart girl.
Wow, nothing has changed. She still does that.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, you really are not eating. I'm gonna go boil some more hot water for you, okay? I will make you
Okay, Ma. I'm seriously just not
Don't
that
worry
hungry.
about it. I got it, don't worry.
Dad, you know, you should really eat half of these apple slices yourself. You don't have to just nibble at the core like that.
Are you kidding me? The core's the best part. I'm giving the bad parts to you. You think I want to eat that gross stuff?
Dad, I'm being serious.
I know. But it's your graduation day. You at least deserve some sliced apples, don't you think?
Also, you think he's joking, but he actually does like the core the best. So, now that Ryan is gone, I think we need to talk more seriously about your future.
There it is.
I know you don't like talking about it. We know that you like to go with the flow, or whatever it is that you American kids like doing these days. But you're not a college student anymore. You need to start thinking about your future now.
Mom, I have been thinking about my future. You have no idea how much I've been thinking about my future. I'm just still thinking it through.
We know, Sarah, but you need to talk to us about it. I mean, we have no idea what you're planning for after graduation.
Sarah, Bob and I are just a little worried. You still don't have a plan now that you've graduated? It's gonna be tough to find work with an English degree. You see that now, don't you?
Mom!
This is why we pushed you to drop the English degree and go to med school. Look at Ryan. Everything is so straightforward for him.
I know you wanted me to go to med school, but you know I can't do it. I don't like science. I hated high school biology. I even tried watching Grey's Anatomy, and that still seemed like it sucked, so.
Damn. Sarah, stop joking about this. What are you going to do now that you've graduated?
We can tell that you want to tell us something. Don't be afraid, just tell us. We're on your side, you know that?
I think I want to move to New York City to be a writer.
Ma, thank you so much for dinner. Everything was delicious.
Actually, Bob cooked this meal for you. He insisted on cooking for your graduation.
Wait, Bob. I didn't know you could cook so well. Since when did you learn how to cook?
Actually, I always wanted to learn how to cook. But when I was young, I didn't have enough food to learn. That's funny, I just taught myself.
It's true. When he was first learning, I used to secretly throw out his food at night and cook for myself.
Yeah, it's real natural, you know. The slicing, the dicing, and the... Wait, you did what? Anyways, when I was your age, we didn't have time to do things just for fun. Did I tell you about how hard I worked when I was younger?
Yes, you told me that yesterday.
I used to
Work from sunrise to sundown and walk 50 miles in 300-degree weather just to go to school. So I should work hard in school because I have it so easy now.
You joke.
but you're lucky you don't have it as hard as I do.
I know, Bob, I know. I'll work hard just for you.
Well, you won't have such a tough time. You have a college degree now. You won't have to work as hard as we did when we were young.
Yes, you're so well educated, you'll no doubt find a great job in China. Are you thinking of staying in Beijing?
Well, actually, I'm thinking about moving somewhere else for work with Yang.
Oh no. Don't tell me. You're thinking about moving all the way to Shanghai.
America.
Are you joking? This is not funny, Minxing.
Mom, Yang and I think we want to go to America, to New York City.
You want to go to New York City to write?
Yes.
Why?
What do you mean, why? To write. St. Louis doesn't have much for me here, but in New York there are connections. There are people I can talk to and learn from. I think it's the place I need to be to start my writing career.
Look, Sarah, you should think about this more. Don't make decisions like this just because you think writing is fun. You're young. You still don't understand.
Mom, I don't know why you're acting like I just said I want to burn all my money and travel the world or something.
Please don't joke about that.
I just want to go to New York City. It's not that big of a deal.
It is a big deal that you want to move there to write a book.
Why is that such a big deal? Yeah, I know publishing a book can be scary, but I have a book that I've been working on, and my professors all say that I could get it published if I just keep at it.
Sarah, we were okay with you getting an English degree.
Oh, not really.
Okay, fine, not really, but this is too risky. We thought that you could get a job at a company or go to law school with an English degree. But being a writer?
What's so wrong with trying to be a writer?
I know you think you can do it. Dad and I think so too. It's not like we don't believe in you. But you have to know, it'll be really hard for you out there.
I know that.
No, I don't think you do. You've always been the smartest girl in class. You've always been naturally gifted at writing. But I don't think you know how it feels to be at the bottom. And this isn't school anymore, and the real life isn't always fair. You're a Chinese girl. People will look at you differently, even if you don't feel any different.
Mom, I know you're worried, but this is my life we're talking about. I don't want to spend it stuck at some cubicle at some company. I want to write stories. It's what I've always wanted, ever since I was a little kid.
We know, Sarah.
We know this is what you've always wanted. And if this is what you really want, then we will support you. But please, just think about what we said.
I know. Don't get me wrong, I'm scared to death too, but I've decided that this is what I want. Ryan flies out to New York City in a couple of weeks for med school, and I think I'm going to go with him.
You want to move to America? To New York City?
Yes.
We thought you would.
You did?
Of course. You think we don't listen to you? You're always talking about how America's so cool and modern.
Yeah, I guess it was sort of obvious.
Really obvious.
So you're not mad?
Well, we were at first. I mean, of course we were. You're abandoning tradition. You're leaving behind your culture. You're leaving us behind when really you should be taking care of us when we get older.
I get it. You were mad. But I mean, I understand why you would be mad. I'm really supposed to stay here to take care of you both when you get older. And it would be really hard for you to have me so far away and you'll really miss me.
Not really.
We understand why you want to move. America is the place of the future. You can have more opportunities there.
Yeah, I'm so glad you understand.
But you need to understand. It will be so hard for you there. Here, you graduated from the best university in China. You could have a comfortable career. But there, you're an outsider. They won't treat you like you deserve.
I know, but...
And you don't speak English very well, so it'll be difficult for you to find a job. It'll be isolating.
Mom, I know all of this, but I'm ready to do this. I will work hard. I will make you both proud. Thank you so much for understanding. I'm gonna go tell Yang.
She's really going.
Can you believe it? Oh, sorry. Can you believe it? We're officially New Yorkers now. I feel cooler already. Should I get my ears pierced? Ooh, maybe even dye my hair hot pink?
Whoa. Calm down, BTS. Just because you live in New York doesn't mean you have to look like a K-pop star.
I'm not even Korean though.
With the amount of K-pop that you listen to, aren't you though?
Okay, but seriously, I'm super lost. Where are we supposed to pick up our bags?
I don't know. Try asking someone.
Aren't New Yorkers supposed to be like super mean though? Do you think anyone will actually help?
Well, just ask.
Excuse me?
No. Oh, that time leads to baggage claim. Here, let's go. Quit looking at me like that. Let's go.
That was really silly.
Wow, I can't believe we're in America. It's like we're in the future.
Okay, wait. We need to find our bags first. Can you read those signs?
No.
Try asking that person for help.
No. You should ask. Your English is better.
No, just go.
No. Hi. Do you know a bag?
What?
Where?
Listen, if you want to live in America, you better try learning some English first, Chinaman.
But that's really rude.
Oh, that's so cute. Let me guess, you two are both fresh off the boat, huh? Chinatown is that way, if that's what you're looking for.
I can't believe you actually did it.
I'm still reading. Wow. Just wow. This book, it's absolutely terrible.
What? Are you kidding me? I've been working on this for like an entire year now.
Sarah, I'm kidding. Your book is honestly amazing. I don't have words for how impressed I am by your writing.
Oh my god, you are the worst! You almost gave me a heart attack. I've been working on this book for the past year, and you just told me it sucked.
Oh, I assure you it doesn't, okay? Sarah, you are going to be so famous for publishing this. And you know what my favorite part is? All Asian American characters. You know what this will mean to kids like us? Growing up, I never had a hero who looked anything like me. I mean, I do kind of look like Chris Evans as Captain America, but that's as far as I don't know what to but... Hildy, this is incredible. You're telling our stories to the world. You're making us heard. And this isn't like those movies where the Asian character's name in the credits is literally nerd number 2 or an Asian kid. It's time that we had our own stories out there as real people. And stories like the one you wrote, will show that we're so much more than people in the background.
Thanks, Ryan. So, do you think I should start reaching out to get it published?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's ready. I mean, I'm pre-med and I'm borderline illiterate, and I still enjoy it.
Okay. I'm going to start calling some publishing agents.
You'll do great. You always do.
Hi, this is Sarah Lee. I sent you my book for review, and I was wondering if you could give me some feedback and if you'd be willing to help me publish my book.
Sarah, hi. Yes, I've read over your materials, and I must say, your writing is terrific.
Thank you.
But the thing is, I have some issues with the overall plot. I really like the idea of telling these stories of Asian American kids, but these characters, they're not too relatable.
Oh, okay. I don't want to change too much, though.
Let me put it this way. Your story, it's not really what people want to read about. People can't see themselves in these protagonists, and they want to read stories about brave, strong characters. You know, adventurous ones. Not like the kinds of characters you've written about.
Well, but you see, that's exactly
Look,
why
Sarah, I already talked with the other publishing companies, and I understand that you want to write about Asian Americans, but it's just not marketable. It might be relatable to people like you and me, but normal Americans, they won't get it. No one's going to publish your book.
Please, just give me a chance.
You've got talent, kid, but sometimes you need to know when to give it up.
Whoa, slow down, slow down. What happened?
This happens every time I try interviewing for these engineering companies. They never want me because I don't speak their language, because I don't have the connection. I can't show them what I know, what I can do. They think I know nothing.
I know. It happens to me too. It's hard. I know. I'm also trying my best to find a job, but it's just hard. And my English isn't even as good as yours. All of our teachers back in Beijing always said that you were the smartest girl in our class. And I was always the clown who was somehow lucky enough to date her.
Well, it doesn't even matter here. Even if I was the smartest student in all China, nobody would even care. I don't look like them. I don't talk like them. They can't even say my name. It's always Men X N? Men Zane? I'm so sick of it.
Well, of course you're sick of it. I'm sick of it too, but we came here, we knew it'd be hard, didn't we?
I suppose.
But why didn't that stop you from coming?
Because I've always been good enough to overcome difficulties. Because ever since I was little, I was told if I worked hard enough, I could succeed. But here, it's different. I have been working so hard. I'm qualified for all of these jobs, but no matter what I do, these companies don't want me. When I try interviewing, it's embarrassing trying to speak a language that isn't my own. I like to see them try speaking Chinese.
It's harder, but it's not different. If you work hard enough, you can still make it. It might be harder than you thought, but when has it ever stopped you? Don't worry. Things will get easier, and each time you interview, you keep getting better. We didn't come this far just to give up, did we?
You're right. Thank you, Yang. How do you manage to always stay so calm?
Well, it's easy to be calm compared to you.
Okay, I have another interview tomorrow. I'll start preparing.
Martin!
Okay, okay, you know what, forget it. Ni hao, is that how you say it? Okay, yeah, I'm right. So, why don't you tell me a little something about yourself?
I graduated from Beijing University with degree in engineering electric. I was top of my class and worked on many.
Look, sweetheart, if you can't speak English, you should not be here.
So it looks like this is my life now.
Life moves so fast in New York City.
And I just can't keep up.
Most of the time, I'll admit it.
I'm frustrated.
I know that I can write well, but publishers won't even give me a chance. How do they know my writing won't succeed if they won't even take the time to listen to my story? And these are stories that need to be told, but publishers don't think so. Because Asians aren't relatable, aren't interesting characters? Why not? I guess because we're foreigners to the country we're born into. Invaders of our own home.
I studied so hard, worked to get to the top of my class, but because I'm from China and can't speak English well, I can find no opportunities here. I know I have the skill, but how can I show what I have to offer when I can't even communicate with others, when every word I say feels wrong even before it leaves my mouth? I try to make my voice heard, but the voice I have here isn't my own anymore. I had to leave it behind, and I didn't even know it. To them, to the people here, I'm voiceless. I'm not one of them, and why would they hire me, a silent outsider? And I have to admit, I'm tired.
I found a job at a fast food restaurant to make some income while I find my footing. And while I know this is hopefully a temporary gig, this isn't what I wanted. All my life I worked to be the best writer I could be, to improve in the craft that I love. Look where all that got me. Especially with Ryan forwarding his career in med school and all my friends getting jobs at big consulting firms. It just seems like I'm frozen in place while the world keeps moving ahead.
Yang and I, we're running low on money, and we don't have much time to pay the rent. Just to stay afloat, I'm working as a dishwasher at one restaurant and a floor cleaner at another. My boss is always yelling at me, but I can never understand what he's saying. He speaks so fast. My hands and back ache from all the hard work. I studied so hard to become an engineer. I didn't think this would be my future. Back home, I could be working comfortably in a career I trained so hard for. But I give it all a chance on me by letting me come here.
I just want to make them proud. I know they probably wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, but that's not who I am. I have something to prove here. I need to show that I have it in me to make it as a writer. I always dreamed of coming home after publishing my first book and seeing the proud smiles on my parents' faces. Maybe that dream is just a dream.
In China, children are expected to stay and take care of their parents. I broke that tradition. I left my parents in China so I could have a brighter future. I know it must break their heart to see me leave them and China behind. But they supported me because they've always wanted what's best for me, not what's best for them. I just want to make them proud. And I'm lonely.
New York City is so different from St. Louis.
New York City is so different from China. I miss home.
I only have time to call home once a week.
It takes me a month to write a letter home.
My family is so far away. And maybe I never should have left. I knew it would be hard.
But I didn't think it would be this hard.
I didn't think that I would be such a failure.
Sorry, I'm late. Just had 2 lectures and got caught up studying for this huge test I have tomorrow.
It's okay. So, how is everything? How's med school going?
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot of material, it's a lot of work, but yeah, it's great. How's the publishing going?
Honestly, not great. I've been shot down by pretty much every publishing agent in the city, but I'm working through it. They did tell me that I should probably scrap everything I've done so far and start over from scratch, but other than that, totally fine.
Oh.
It's so nice to see you, though. I've missed talking to you the last couple of days. It's been tough not seeing you so often.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh.
Okay, what's up?
What do you mean, what's up?
Oh, cut it out.
What?
I know what's going on. You're not happy in med school. I knew you wouldn't be all along.
What are you talking about?
You never wanted this for yourself. You always loved making music and doing art. You never cared about any of this medical stuff. You were just doing it because your parents wanted you to.
What? That's not true. Don't act like you know me, you don't. This is what I want for myself.
Okay, but I do know you. I know you've always pretended that you wanted to be a doctor, and you might have even convinced yourself that you do. But deep down, I know you. You love making music. That's what you've always wanted to do. You just didn't pursue it because you were too scared.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I was scared. Sometimes you have to be realistic. I probably couldn't make it as a musician. Is it so wrong that I want to pursue a career where I can actually be comfortable? Is it wrong that I want to make my parents proud?
No, but it is wrong if it's going to make you miserable. If you're just going to be spending your whole life wishing you were living it another way.
Okay, Sarah, look, I told you, I'm fine. I can tell you, I have thought this through, and this is what I want for myself. It's hard now, I know, but it will pay off.
Will it? Really? If it weren't for money and your parents, would you even want this for yourself?
Well, those things exist, so I don't see the point of the question.
How do you not see the point? You should be doing what you love, not just living your life the way someone else wants you to.
And what? End up like you?
Whoa! Right, you're too far. Come on, bro.
I'm so sorry.
No. Don't be sorry.
Where are you going?
Home. Sarah, why did you come home? Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Some people are interested in my books, so yeah.
Sarah, I'm your mom. I know when you're upset. What's really happening?
Things aren't fine. Nobody's interested in my book. I even had to get a job at a fast food restaurant, so I guess you get to say I told you so.
Well, I told you so. Why didn't you tell us this earlier? Every time you call us, you hang up so fast.
I didn't want you and Dad to be disappointed in me.
Sarah, we will never be disappointed in you.
I know, but I know you and Dad always wanted me to be a successful doctor, not a broke writer taking orders at a drive-thru.
It's true we wanted you to be a doctor, but it's not because we would have been disappointed in you if you weren't.
What do you mean?
We didn't want you to suffer. Not like Dad and I had to.
What?
You know, Dad and I were your age when we first came to America from China. And if you think it's hard now, imagine what it was like for us. We barely had any money, and we couldn't even speak the language. People did not treat us like people. And do you know what made me so angry? Nobody could pronounce my name, Wenxing. I couldn't speak to anybody. Nobody wanted to talk to me because I was a foreigner. And I tried finding work for months, but even with my degree in Beijing University, nobody would hire me.
So, what did you do then?
I had to change my plans. I studied English for months while working 2 jobs. And I got a good enough score on my exam, and I even got a degree in engineering in America. And Dad did the same thing. And then we both found work after that. And then we had you. It wasn't always easy for us. We had to work harder than everybody else just to get to the same place. The point of this is, Dad and I didn't want you to be a doctor because otherwise we wouldn't be proud of you. We wanted you to be a doctor because we know how hard it is to struggle for your future. But we will always be proud of you, and we will always support you if this is what you really want. Trust me, I know how it feels. I understand.
I've been through it too.
Sarah! Hey.
Hey.
Look, Sarah, I'm so sorry. I was way out of line. I was stressed out of my mind, and I know that doesn't make it better,
No, Brian, don't worry about it. I also said some things I shouldn't have.
Yeah, but I did think a lot about what you said, and it makes sense, you know, doing what makes you happy. But I thought about it for a while, and I think happiness for me is making my parents proud and living a comfortable life. And for you...
For me, it means doing what I love, even if it'll hurt a lot.
Yeah, see, that sounds way cooler.
But it's different for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But how is everything? How was your trip home?
It was actually pretty good. I had a really good chat with my mom when I was home. I told her about everything that's going on with the writing and the publishing, and she told me that she gets it. Because when she was my age, she went through the same thing. Except for her, it was coming to America with barely any money and knowing nobody, no support, and not even knowing how to speak English.
Yeah, my parents pretty much went through the same thing.
Yeah, but can you imagine? They had to do all that when they were our age. Growing up, my parents always told me this, but it always felt like a faraway story. But now, with everything I'm going through, it feels like I finally understand how hard it was for them.
Well, maybe you can write about it. I mean, all your publishers were telling you that your stories weren't relatable with all the Asian American characters and whatever nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like your mom's story can be relatable to anyone. It's relatable to you, it's relatable to me, it's relatable to anybody trying to figure out their future. And that's what everybody's trying to do, right?
That's actually not a bad idea.
Don't sound so surprised.
No, really, I mean it. How are you always coming up with these incredible ideas? It's amazing.
Well, you're pretty amazing yourself. So, did you miss me while you were gone? If I remember correctly, you were the one who was like, "Oh, Ryan, it's been so hard with that."
But, yeah, I did miss you.
Yeah, you did.
So Sarah, with the recent critical success of your new book, what was it that inspired you to tell this story?
You know, when you think about it, the relationship between parents and children is really unique. When you're a kid, you see your parents as these invincible people who know everything. Your parents are your parents. But as you get older, you realize that your parents are just human. At one point, they were your age. They were once young and stupid and scared. At one point, they were in their 20s, trying to figure out their future. At one point, they were having to get their first job and figure out relationships. And they had to fall down and get back up who knows how many times. And when they finally get a grasp on things, they have you. And everything changes. Everything shifts. All they want is for you to be happy and safe, and they don't want anything to hurt you. For me, my parents came from a poor background. They came to America with no money, knowing nobody, knowing not even how to speak the language. They had to work their way up to where they are now. Their story may not be the one that everyone has experienced, but it's one that everyone can relate to. Everyone has felt lost at some point, uncertain of what their future will hold, uncertain if they'll be able to go where they want to go. But nobody is alone in that struggle. We're all trying to find our way, and through it all, we emerge stronger and better for it. And I guess I have my mom and dad to thank for teaching me that.